Today we're going to be taking a look at a much larger website. Now this website is classed as more of a enterprise website, so there's obviously some people that do only enterprise SEO. We're going to be running a full enterprise SEO style audit on this, and I'll be giving recommendations throughout the video on how you can increase traffic. Now these guys, they obviously have got a super high DR already, so we're not going to be looking much into the link building side of stuff. They're obviously already a DR 91, UR 52, 8.7 million backlinks. They're already getting 1.6 million traffic every single month, and they're just ranking for 347,000 keywords. They're also running a bit of paid search, which is always a good thing to do, especially if you are trying to run a serious brand as well. So what is the main difference between an enterprise SEO audit and just a regular website audit? Now, like what I mentioned at the start of this video, these guys, they've already got a serious amount of backlinks, so we might not actually need any more new backlinks. That's what a lot of SEO agencies, they'll pitch you, especially if you've got like an enterprise SEO style site, they'll pitch you like 5,000 backlinks that you're missing. In reality, you've already got a lot of the backlinks that you actually probably need. So there's probably some underlying issues if you aren't ranking for some of the keywords that you're trying to rank for. Now, those issues could be you're lacking internal links, you're lacking topical authority, your technical SEO probably might be lacking on certain things. If any of you are struggling when it comes to SEO, make certain to check out casualdash.com, fill in the contact form. I've got a handful of actual SEO case studies that you guys can check out as well on the website. And if you guys do want a strategy call with myself, potentially learn a little bit more on how I can help you, fill in the contact form, click on the work with me button, fill in the contact form, and I will get back to you. Now back to the video. Biggest difference in this case when it comes to ranking a enterprise SEO style website is if you make like a 1% gain across all of your pages, that's a serious amount of traffic. That could literally be you ranking or you getting 1.6 million traffic every single month to having 2 million traffic every single month. So it's all about the incremental gains at this stage. And one thing that a lot of people they look at when it comes to enterprise SEO is actually auditing the content, making certain that the actual blog articles that the website is actually uploading is actually fully SEO optimized. That's one thing. Another thing is obviously technical SEO, making certain that you are actually internally linking your content. So, for example, if we take a look here, right, this blog article has got 1, 2, 3. To be fair, they do an okay job on their internal linking. In some cases, you look at some of the bigger websites and they just don't do any internal links. There's actually one of the better internal linkings on like an actual blog page. That being said, what we can definitely improve upon is this website obviously does have pagination. What we could definitely do is actually internally link through to all of the different blog categories within the actual website. So for example, they've got like a section on Instagram. I'm certain that they will also have a section on Facebook as well. If we actually just search Facebook, as you can see, they do actually have a section on Facebook, but within the, like above the fold, they aren't actually internally linking once or at all to the Facebook section. So they're not actually passing that much page rank through to this section. So again, if any of you guys are familiar with actually internal linking, how you should be doing your internal links, what these guys should be doing is having all of their categories. So Facebook's one of them. They might also have, like, for example, LinkedIn might be another one. Yes, it is. So having their LinkedIn, their Facebook, all of the actual social platforms that Buffer helps with, they should actually be having internal links to every single one of their blog sections or their blog categories on the actual blog of their website. Now, again, that's just to help with the actual website structure When it comes to internal linking, that's another thing that you should also be looking at as well. So if we actually take a look at this image here, this is like a site architecture, and right now it can be a little bit difficult for Google to actually crawl buffer.com, mainly because, for example, if we just pick this as being their blog section, they're not actually internally linking to all of their blog categories via their blog section. So again, they're just missing out on a little bit of actual link flow or page rank going through to some of their blogs. So if you are actually looking to improve your site structure, maybe you do have a little bit of a complicated website structure like the example that I showed you guys before, right? There's a few different tools that you can obviously use. There's actually three that are my go-to tools. So one of them being Jet Octopus. Octopus. I've completely misspelled octopus there. But this is a very, very detailed website auditing tool. It also analyzes your server logs as well. So, for example, without getting too nerdy and without getting too deep into actually how to analyze your server logs, but this tool will actually tell you which pages Google prefers actually visiting. Because one thing to bear in mind when it comes to these bigger websites is that Google will not actually crawl and go to every single page. So you could be actually, for example, making edits to this blog post, for example, and Google has never actually even visited this page. So what Jet Octopus does, or what it's really good at, is actually analyzing the logs. It'll tell you like, hey, you've got a 6,000 blog, or you've got 6,000 pages live on your website. However, only 2,500 of those pages regularly get visited by Google, and then obviously you can see which pages are getting visited by Google and making certain that you are focusing your time of actually internally linking those pages that are getting visited by Google to the pages that aren't getting visited by Google. So a little bit of an explainer on Jet Octopus. Then we've obviously got the good old trusty Screaming Frog. Now, one thing that I would recommend doing is you will definitely need the paid version of this, which I believe it's like $200-$300. But if you actually go to the configuration setting, you can actually tag up your Google Universal Analytics if you've still got that, your GA4, your Google Search Console, and also Page Speed Insights. This is super important, especially if you are looking to analyze, let's say, 6,000 blog articles or 6,000 pages, because in some cases you might find that a lot of your pages are optimized, but let's say 2 or 5% of them, they've got bloated images, or you might not be doing lazy loading on your images. If you are actually using the Page Speed Insights API key, which it literally takes 2 seconds to set up, and if you plug that in, you can very quickly analyze a lot in a very quick space of time. It also does do visualizations, like it does do the crawl tree graph. One thing I will do very quickly is I will just run a small website. I'm not going to run buffer.com because it's got 35,000 pages, so you'll end up, this video will end up being like 8 hours long. But if I do, for example, dentists in Miami, I'll just pick a small website like these guys, and I'll start the actual audit. So while that's actually loading, actually, do you know what? I might not be able to do that because I am not whitelisted, but we'll pick these guys. So I'll start this, and then once this is loading, or once it's actually doing the audit, once it's complete, I'll tell you guys what you should and shouldn't be looking at. We also have got another tool, and this I actually prefer when it comes to visualizations, and I'll show you the reason why. So this is a website called bingoviews.com. If I click on View Audit, this tool does the best when it comes to showing your site structure on a visualized model. It tells you like where your page rank is actually going to, which pages are lacking page rank. So if I actually click on internal over here, as you can see, we've got a total of 202 web pages. It tells you your UR score, so you can sort by UR, lowest to highest. So, for example, they've got a lot of actual category pages that have got 0 UR, so they could definitely be improving that. They've obviously got like an offer page here, which has low UR as well. So they could be building links in this case to the actual offer page. And that would actually power up a lot of their pages. Well, actually, this offer page actually needs a lot of improving. What I would do here, just so you guys know, is actually have blog articles written by Lauren. This is just a waste of actually crawl budget just by having that. Let's just see what their other offer pages look like. Yeah, so their offer pages could definitely do a lot more. Could be a lot better. Why is this one not Hannah? So one thing that I would definitely say is that the offer pages on buffer.com, they are a lot nicer. This is what I would be aiming for when it comes to like an offer page, having a little bit, or the name of the actual offer, a little bit about the offer, and then actually having all of the blog articles. That basically means, like, if, say, for example, Roche Zalani was to actually get some inbound links through to this page, it would actually power up all of the articles that she's actually written, not like what these guys have done. So there's a few things like that I would definitely improve on. But if we actually click on site visualization, there we go. What you can actually do is you can actually see how your website is actually structured, and is your website structure actually messy. Now, in this case, it's not terrible. It's not also great either. Like, for example, if we actually select this, for example, right? So about bingo views links to the offer, and then the actual offer then links to another. Does it link to another offer? Yeah, it links to another offer page. Then it links to Lucky Diner Bingo Review, Bingo Heart Review. Now, these bingo reviews are actually super important, so these should probably be actually one click away. Now, that's what the actual colors mean as well. So the green is obviously the home page. The lighter green is 1 click away. The slightly lighter green is 2 clicks away, so it's click depth 2. And the orange is actually click depth 3. And have they got any click depth 4? Yeah, they've got some click depth 4. So the darker orange here is click depth 4. Now, what you want to be doing is making certain that the pages that you care about, the pages that are going to earn you the most money, the pages that you want to truly outcompete your competitors, they should be actually closer to the homepage. And the reason for that is because the homepage naturally on any website, or most websites, it naturally gets the most amount of actually links. So if we actually click and see Buffer's website, so if we click on exact URL, if you can see here, they've got 279,000 backlinks and 34,000 referring domains, right? Now, if we were to click on all, right? So they've got 34,000. So half of their backlink profile, or half of their referring domains, is pointing through to their homepage. Now, one thing as well is, once you actually have got a correct website structure, and you're obviously internally linking through to your most important pages from your homepage, that's when you can obviously think about other silos as well. So that's one thing to bear in mind when it comes to the on-page SEO and the actual internal linking and stuff, right? The next thing that we're probably going to deep dive into is actually topical authority. So there's a few ways that you can obviously analyze topical authority on such a big website. Now, I'll go over a couple different examples. So in this case, what I would actually be looking at is, if, say, for example, a website's lost some traffic after a core algorithm update, what I would be looking at doing is going into the keyword section, and obviously we can see slightly when there has been a core algorithm update. Like, it's a little bit hard to see, but if you actually start scrolling, as you can see, there was one in 5th of October 2023. You can obviously see there was one in August 2024. I'm obviously recording this in October, right? So what I'm actually going to do is keep a note of 15th of August 2024. We're going to then go to this section here, and we're going to select. So we're going to select custom date. We're going to go before the actual core algorithm update. So I'll select, let's say, the 30th of July, right? Then what we can actually do is we can compare custom date, and we can actually select. Actually, I believe that I need to do today, and then this needs to be the date before the core algorithm update. So I'll select 31st. Now, what we've actually done here is we've selected today's date to compare prior to the core algorithm update. And basically, what this is actually going to do is we can actually see which keywords this website has actually lost. So, for example, if we click on positions, we can click on lost, or we can actually click on declined as well. And if we click on apply and click show results, what you'll see is we've got a long list of web pages that we have lost positions after the core algorithm update. So these pages are basically being like displayed to us as if Google just doesn't like some of these actual pages. So if we take a look, we can see that we have lost a few pages to do with like social media. So if I click on more filters, and if I filter just social media, we're going to go from 159,000 to 6,200 keywords. And as you can see, there's a lot of different social media pages that we've actually lost some keywords. So what I would now be looking at doing is seeing who's ranking above me for example, social media scheduler. And we want to basically see what they're doing and what we're not doing. So actually looks like that page there is actually ranking pretty well. But let's see if we if we click on positions as well. We're going to click let's say position 10 to position 20. So pages that we are actually, we'll do position 5 to, let's say, position 10. So let's see, social media content calendar, right? We are position number 7. We're going to see what has actually taken over our spot. So like we can see that HubSpot's taken over, Planable.io, digitalculturenetwork.org.uk, Canva, which is quite a weird one, Hootsuite, which is a direct competitor to these guys, to be fair. So what I would then be doing is we can then do like a site colon, and we can actually search for social media related content that these guys have that we don't have for our website. So again, if we take a look at these guys, and if we take a look at buffer.com, if we do the exact same thing, right? If we do social media on both of these. So for example, social media marketing for small businesses, right? I would then be cross-referencing that against my website and seeing if we actually have anything similar to that. So social media marketing for small businesses, a guide for 2024. Now, one thing that I will specify is that a lot of these bigger websites, they will actually have like a content calendar. Like this is a very, very manual way of actually doing it. But that's one way of figuring out if we are lacking certain articles. Another thing that you could also do is pick out like 2 or 3 competitors, look at their sitemap, extract their sitemap, and then cross-reference their sitemap to your sitemap and see which blog articles they have that you don't have. And obviously, this is how you actually look at your competitor's sitemap. You literally just go to sitemap.xml, or you can go to robots.txt, and you can obviously just grab the sitemap. Usually speaking, they do reference the sitemap there, and you've obviously got all of the sitemaps in here. So they've got, for example, 982 plus another probably another 1,000 or so, 997. So they've probably got about 3,000 blog articles on their website. So you would want to just export that. Again, you can just export their sitemap with a tool like Screaming Frog, and that will tell you all of the blog articles that they actually have. Cross-reference it to your blog articles that you don't have. Now, another thing that you can also do when it comes to topical maps is, when it comes to like some of these bigger websites, you almost need to treat this website as like 4 or 5 different websites. Like, for example, they've got a lot of blog articles to do with social media. They've got a lot of blog articles to do with a Facebook. They've got a lot of blog articles to do with Instagram. Like, for example, social media, they've got 4,500 or 4,400 blog articles that Google's reporting to us to do with social media. If we take a look at Facebook, for example, as well, they've got 3,970. If we take a look at, let's say, Instagram, let's say, they've got 3,860. If we take a look at Google Business Profile, how many blog articles? They've got 2,600. So that's almost like the size of some regular sized websites, right? Now, what I would be doing here is I would almost be treating like the Google Business Profile silo as an individual website by itself. And the reason for that is we can actually do topical maps and content a lot easier when we are actually breaking it down. The reason for that is, like, let's say, for example, this website's, I believe I said it's 50,000 pages in total. 36,700 pages in total, right? If we were to do a topical map for everything, it's probably going to have like 10,000 articles missing, right? Give or take. However, if we were actually breaking it down into like the Google Business Profile silo, we could then actually find missing articles. We might be able to find, let's say, 50 or 100 blog articles that this silo needs, and then we can move on to the next silo. So, for example, we might say, right, okay, month 1, we're going to find 60 missing blog articles only to do with the Google Business silo. Month 2, we're going to find, let's say, 150 for the social media silo. Month 3, we're going to find, let's say, 300 for the Facebook silo. And that's how you should be structuring your actual topical coverage on some of these bigger websites. Otherwise, if you're looking at the website as from a overall holistic point of view, you're going to end up finding like 10,000 blog articles. It's going to take you a long time to find those blog articles. Whereas every single month, if you're actually being able to grow the website, whether it's certain subjects or certain parts of the actual website, you're actually able to grow the website a lot quicker and a lot faster as well. So that being said, right, what a strategy that I like to use for some of these websites, and again, you would be surprised as to the amount of bigger websites that don't actually do this, especially in the enterprise space, is you can actually do the zero search volume method, right? So, for example, Google Business Profile suspended, right? We could definitely write an article to do with this if they've not already got one. So, for example, they've got, what does shadow banned mean, right? They've not actually got a specific page on actually a suspended Google Business Profile. And one thing that I will say as well is that the sheer size and the sheer authority of buffer.com, they could definitely rank for a keyword like this. Like, for example, they've obviously got support.google that they need to compete against, but Search Engine Journal, not a problem. Search Engine Land, again, not a problem. If they were to write an article like, for example, 5 reasons your Google Business Profile might get suspended, they could definitely get a lot of actual organic SEO traffic through to that page. So again, what I would be doing here is doing the alphabet soup method, some people call it. So for example, going through all of the actual variations. So for example, Google Business Profile appeals tool. You could do verification. So you could do how to claim and verify your Google Business Profile on Google. Now, some of you guys might be thinking, Buffer has nothing to do with that like keyword, but in reality, if you can think of the thought process, right? So somebody wants to get their Google Business Profile verified, right? They might be having a few issues. If they can attract that client right there and then also offer their actual Google Business Profile services to that person, they might also sign up to the service as well. They might think, well, if I'm going to sign up to or verify my Google Business Profile, I'm obviously going to need to do posts and I've not got the time to do it. Oh, I might actually try out Buffer. So that's the thought process that we need to have when it comes to some of these blog articles when we're also uploading it. So that's another way of actually doing topical authority. That's probably my go-to method, or one of my go-to methods. But very quickly, going back to the Screaming Frog, because I did say that we will check out some sections in the Screaming Frog, right? One thing that I like to look at when it comes to Screaming Frog is the unique in links. So that tells us how many internal links our pages actually have. So as you can see, for example, this page only has one internal link. This page only has 19 internal links. And that page there is actually a page that they actually do care about. It's to do with like teeth whitening. So analyzing your internal linking structure, making certain that the pages that you care about, they do actually have crawl budget, for example, that can definitely help. The next thing that I would be looking at is the actual word count as well. So, for example, now I'm not saying word count is a direct ranking factor, but if we can look here, as you can see, we've got a lot of pages on this website that I've just randomly picked. It's got 0 word count on the actual page. Not certain why it is. Oh, I believe that this is 301. So looking at the actual word count, you can actually see that some of these pages, they just don't have any content on the page. Now, just by adding SEO optimized content, making certain that we are actually placing the keywords in the correct sections, that's going to definitely help us rank some of these pages. Because again, if we don't have any content, Google's just going to come crawl that page and they're just going to see, okay, this page doesn't have any content, why should we rank it? The next thing that I would be looking at as well is status codes, right? Status codes, especially for a bigger website, can get out of hand very, very quickly, especially the sheer size of the numbers that I was throwing out earlier, like 150 blog articles month 1, 300 blog articles month 2, 60 blog articles month 3. What we want to be making certain that we're doing, and this goes like, I've even had this on smaller websites as well. A content editor or my SEO manager might have internally linked incorrectly, and it's not their fault, it's just a human error. Everyone does it. Making certain that we're cleaning up our status codes, right? So for example, we've got 200 status code here. One thing that we can actually look at is, if we take a look at the right hand side section here, it will tell us any issues as well. So for example, status codes 200, we've got 167. 200 means like thumbs up, like perfect. Redirection, we've got 32 300s or 301s or 302s potentially. Now again, this is a very small website that we analysed, right? Going back to what I was saying before, some of these enterprise websites, they've got 50,000 pages, 60,000 pages, right? So if you think even 5% or 2% of their website has some issues like this, it's going to overall increase the actual traffic very, very quickly. So making certain that we're actually analyzing stuff like this. Blocked by robots.txt. So these pages, for whatever reason, we're actually internally linking to them. But again, it just makes no sense to in some cases. So analysing anything like this will definitely help you. Sitebulb does do a good job of this as well, so you can definitely use Sitebulb for certain stuff like that. But that's been my video on enterprise SEO. It's a very, very different video. I know that it is a very much bigger website, but it's a question that I have been asked frequently, like, hey, how do you analyze or how do you audit enterprise SEO websites? That's how I do it. There's a lot of things that I could probably break this up into 4 or 5 different videos and analyze different aspects. So properly going into the content, making certain that they're internally linking from the correct places, making certain that they're not wasting any crawl budgets. But that's been my video on enterprise SEO. If you guys do have any questions, feel free to drop them down below. And if you guys do want a growth strategy call for your website, make certain to check out casualdash.com and fill in the contact form. Thanks.